Hey everybody, it is Wednesday, October 5th, 2022, and I wanted to say happy Yom Kippur to all of my amazing, beautiful people who are of the Jewish tradition. Did y'all know that my lineage, my genealogy, my family tree goes back to Sephardic Jews? About 3 to 4 generations back. My aunt did our family tree, and then when I did my 23andMe, it was also confirmed that we are part of the Sephardic Jews. Our family is the originals from literally my great grandparents, and beyond. We came from Spain. Both of my mother's parents' families originally came from Spain, right? So Sephardic Jews, that we descend from our Spanish origins. We follow the Orthodox Jewish practices. This was what I'm saying, Felicidades, Yom Kippur. What we do as Sephardic Jews, I don't practice Judaism at all. I don't, but I know that my lineage goes back to it because my aunt did tell me this years ago. She's always tracing back our family tree. So Sephardic, I'm looking at my notes that I wrote down. I always send myself notes. So there are some cultural differences they observe, and these are the aspects of their group that makes them different. The Sephardic prayer services melodies may differ from those adopted by the Ashkenazi traditional music. And when I did my 23andMe, 8 generations back, an Ashkenazi Jew came up as well, which is interesting how it went from Ashkenazi to Sephardic. Those of us who still practice as Sephardic Jews, which I do not. I'm not appropriating, I'm just explaining. We celebrate Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, is celebrated by eating fried foods and remind them of the miracle of oil. Traditionally, jelly donuts are enjoyed at this time. Sephardic Jews have a language called Ladino, which means it's based on Spanish and Hebrew. Sephardic Jews will name their children after persons living or deceased in the family. The eldest son is usually named after the paternal grandfather, and the eldest daughter is usually named after the paternal grandmother. Family names have great importance among the Sephardic. That did not happen in my generation. So again, we are not practicing, but I do want to say thank you and Felicidades Yom Kippur for all of those who are practicing Jewish practitioners. And again, it's interesting that they created their own language from Spanish and Hebrew. But I do want to say happy Yom Kippur to those of you who do honor and follow the Jewish traditions. So let's get into the card of the day. This is not a reading. A reading is an intimate discussion between you and a spiritual advisor of your choice, hopefully led by your intuition. As I always say, your intuition is your superpower. Everyone's born with intuition. Not everyone listens to it. With that being said, the Almighty Pineapple LLC is trademark, copyrighted. Hello. Corazon Latino. The Almighty Pineapple, I don't know why, but someone said, I just heard in my ear, they need to see your shirt. Yeah, we celebrate all things. We honor all traditions. The Almighty Pineapple LLC is trademark, copyright, and registered with 3 different classifications with the United States Trademark and Patents Office. Any duplication of my content without my permission is subject to legal recourse, guided by my legal team. With that being said, the card of the day is coming from Les Vampires Oracle deck by Lucy Cavendish, and again, one of my favorite artists, Jasmine Beckett Smith. That's the illustrator. Do not forget that Monday we're going to be having a full moon community ritual in Aries. Members of I Am the Altar, your private membership, you're automatically included. For those of you who'd like to join, it's $12.34 per person. We do know that the full moon is on Sunday, but I do not work on Sunday. It is my Sabbath, my day of rest. And this is the last week for the discounted pre-order schedule super sale for all the Mojo envelopes and the pendants, transformation pendant, lots of love pendant, and double A pendant. Let's see what spirit. That was quick. So with that being said, the card of the day is called Reason. It says, listen to advice, think clearly, and intellect. Love this. So let's see what the Reason card tells us today. Think clearly, listen to advice. I just heard constructive criticism is not always a bad thing. Don't know why, but okay. So lest vampires speak. I am the one who comes to you now so you can see clearly. You feel others have had problems in this area, but you simply think positively and send out waves and love and for the way to be cleared. But no, this is not how this particular power works, my friend. There is no obstructive force around you at present, that will not allow you to pass unless you strictly meet all criteria. This force is the form of a person, an institution, or corporation required you to do everything that is required to pass through these gates. How do I know this? Because I am one of them and have been one of them and will continue to be the gatekeeper for many of activities. I am a queen and I choose who enters the gateways of immortality in my realm, and for all those who dare climb the path to my lair, there are many who are turned away, and there are the fortunate ones. So although you may consider yourself to be more charming, more well-liked, able to convince others, and worthy of inclusion, there is a tedious paperwork and criteria that must be met, and we vampires have this too. You must do everything perfectly. If you seek and wish to pass the test and gain what it is that you seek. This card is likely to come up for you for some mortals when dealing with large companies, government institutions. Once it was the church who controlled everything. Now it is the people with their pens and papers, their digital records, their officious ways. This card will come to you at tax time, or when you must take pen to paper and fill out a form of endless length. Hilariously, I have to pay my taxes. My taxes got extended by October 15th. I have to pay my taxes next week. That's hilarious. So that was also for me. I am the vampire who warns you of contracts and who asks you to read and read again the agreements that you sign. Do not consider yourself different or better than others, for when it comes to matters like these, we are all subject to laws that are tedious at worst, punishing at times, and cruel at others. How cool, you may wonder? Think of the immigrant waiting for the signature so they can live in a new land. Think of the mother who must rely on the form going to the right department so food can be found for her child. The list goes on and on. There is a cruelty to the faceless conformity of bureaucracy and to the negligence that can stifle your plans and sometimes even threaten your very future. Take care, be aware, and do everything as if you were writing with your very blood and it was your soul that you were selling. So the blessing of this card is your might is powerful and you will be used for your soul's highest purpose. Accept excellent advice and see the results that this can bring. Now the downside, there's a downside that's a shadow side, but they call it a curse. Fear of accepting advice that seems also almost too sensible. A belief that nothing is easy, panicking and being overwhelmed with details and paperwork, feeling you have no one to turn to. And working with this card, time to sit calmly down, clear your mind, then begin to work your way through the details of any dilemma that's haunting you. There's a person about you who is able to advise you. Please ask them for their assistance and listen and act with that good advice is given. Now, usually what happens is when we're in all these damn retrogrades, and we just came out direct, but we are in post shadow Mercury retrograde. So the fact that they're still asking us to look over our agreements once, twice, three times, once, twice, thrice, right? Or quadruple, however you got to do, and be very weary about these paperwork and these things and these contracts. It is time to be very aware of what it is you're seeing. Listen to advice. Think clearly. What I always tell you guys, read, absorb, and process, then follow your intuition. Think clearly, and intellect is very present at this time. It's time to see things clearly. It's time to take the rose-colored glasses off. It's time to take these blinders off of you. Stop thinking your way is the only way. Your way is not the only way. There are multiple ways to resolve any situation because every situation is temporary. The only things that are permanent in the human existence is the human birth and the human death. Between the time we are born from the time we die, we change every day. But whatever it is that you're focusing on is going to stay in your life because that's the energy and that's your intellect trying to analyze some situations no matter what. So pull back, fall back, pray, meditate, follow that intuition, listen to advice. If you don't believe in religion, you don't believe in spirituality, it's conversation, contemplation, integration. Same thing as prayer, meditation, and intuition. As I always say, the 1-2 combo: pray, meditate, pray, meditate. The reason why I call it the 1-2 combo is the only thing that's ever saved our ancestors from the beginning of time till now is to pray and to meditate. Listen to that intuition. It will never steer you wrong. So again, think clearly, listen to advice, take that constructive criticism, and use your intellect. Stop thinking that you're dumb. I hope I helped. I hope I put some things in perspective, and I hope it made you feel better. So with that being said, I would love to work with you. But as always, please follow your intuition working with any spiritual advisor. Even that means you do not work with me. My October books are open, and I will not be here for the first week or so in November. I will be traveling, so please take advantage of the appointments that are available today. Love y'all. Have a great day.